Hey, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I miss you. I love you. I wanted to talk to you, ladies, this morning about being in agreement with God's will and God's way. And so, when I was growing up, there was this song called Yes, Lord, Yes. And basically, it went, I'll say yes, yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. And it's very easy to sing. It's real catchy. Shirley Caesar did a version of it, and it was a lot of fun, right? But I'm just studying this morning and in writing out some of the things that I believe God is walking me into this season and some of the areas of my life and of my heart and soul that He needs to transform. I have been very much in agreement with God's will, but not always in agreement with His way. And so let me give you an example. There are many, many places in my life where God has done miracles. And so, for instance, I have had physical illness. I've been sick before, where God has miraculously healed me from things the doctors said that I would die from, right? Nothing on my part. And then there have been strained relationships, toxic even relationships, that God literally required me to walk out healing over a period of a decade. He didn't do a miracle and change the person's heart instantly like he has the ability to do. The word says God holds the heart of man in his hand and he turns it whichever way he sees fit. But he's not a manipulator, right? He has given us choice and will. And surely as he can could have overridden Pharaoh's heart, he could do the same thing with our family members. But many times it's the process that delivers us. And so, in thinking about agreeing with God's will and his way, it's really important to understand that many times you're praying for things, you're asking for things, you have petitions, and you're seeking God's heart and his instructions on how a thing is supposed to go in your life. And many of those things are uncomfortable or don't reflect the love of God that He has for you and the vision for your life that He's shown you inside yourself. Excuse me. And um, many times, what I have found in my experience is that my perspective and my acknowledgement of his greatness and his power usually is tilted towards me and my comfort rather than my prosperity and my righteousness. So I know a young lady, and I told you guys a couple of maybe last week or the week before about a young lady who had gotten student loan forgiveness, right? And it was amazing. It was wonderful. We had been praying for it. We were all excited, but I don't want to discount the 10 years that baby made payments on her student loans on time without deferring those loans. 10 years, month in, month out, before she got that student loan forgiveness. I don't want to discount that. And so there are many places in your life where you're asking God to do something. It might be in your family, it might be in your relationships, it might be in your finances, it might be in your health. And God has a specific way that He wants to get you to His will, but your way and what you think He can do and should do may be overriding you seeing and receiving that blessing in your life. If you are in a place right now where you are, say for instance, let's just use the student loan, and the student loan is astronomical, it's six figures, and you're just like, there's no way that I can even pay down the interest, much less pay down the loan itself. You may just want God to pay that thing off, to forgive it, to wipe it out. God, let Sally Mae go down and let a hacker delete all the delete all the loans. You know what I mean? And I'm being funny about it, but I've had that thought. Okay. And so you may want God to move that direction, but God may be using the debt that He did not create as a way to fortify you as a godly steward, right? And so his way may not look like your way. You may want him to get you out of your current situation. And I have a kid who is, matter of fact, I just talked to her this morning, who has got herself in a little situation. Now she needs somewhere to stay. And needing somewhere to stay, she wants to take the shortcut route. She wants to lie on her, rental applications and get somebody to say, to lie about her rental history and all these things that she has not been an excellent steward over, even though the last 6 months of her life, she's really been holding her own. I mean, for a couple of years, she was kind of irresponsible. And then the last 6 months of her life, she got a job. She became very faithful in her finances. She had a child, and that changed her thinking and what she wanted for her future. And so I talked to her this morning, and, she wants to take a shortcut. And I said, baby, that's not going to work. Any way that you try to use wrong to get right, wrong is going to expose you. The enemy is waiting to trip her up. He will let her get all the way to getting the keys in her hand, and he will expose her. And she'll feel like God let her down. And so I said, listen, let's take a different path to getting you what you need. And let's trust God for his grace and mercy to fill in the gaps, right? And so many times the way that God needs to take us is for our fortification, our purification, our sanctification, and to build endurance in us. God is working all things together for our good. And so while you are in agreement with God's will, you're pursuing his heart, you're praying, you're studying, you're spending quality time with him, you being nice to the family members that act crazy, you're praying for people who despitefully use you, all those things, right? You're in agreement with his will. I pray today that your heart get in agreement with his way, because his way may not be the most comfortable path, right? And so, I love you guys, and I am proud of you, and I'm so grateful for this journey that you're on. Okay, have an amazing week.